Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth here. Bridge as well. It's been a minute. I think it's been about 2 months since I did a video. Um, gonna do a little life update really quickly, and then I'm gonna talk about Doreen Virtue. So, in my last video, I think it's been like 2 months. It's the end of August right now, and I believe my last video was around the beginning of July. So it's really kind of hard to believe it's been 2 months already. A lot's changed. Okay, well, no, actually, that's not true. Not a lot has changed. So in my last video, I said that I wasn't going to be doing videos for a little while because we got in a contract on the house and we were moving in with my family for a little while until we found a place to buy. And that didn't happen. The contract that we had fell through. So, which was really heartbreaking because, obviously because we really want to get out of here, but also because the morning we found out the contract was terminated due to lack of financing on the buyer's part, not anything that we did. That day, we were scheduled to go for a second showing of a house that we had fallen in love with and were wanting to put an offer in on. Yeah, it was horrible. It was a rough weekend. So, 2 months later, now we're still here. We ended up moving. After all that happened, we took a little break, and then so the house needs a lot of repair work that we aren't going to do. We don't want to do. We don't have the money, the extra money. And I know you're not supposed to say that, but it's pretty extensive repair work that it needs. So we have it up on Craigslist for sale right now. We have moved the majority of our furniture out of the house. So it's really empty, which is kind of cool. It makes the energy totally different. Yeah, so a lot of our stuff's in storage. As you can see, I'm not in my usual chair because that chair's in storage, as well as all the normal stuff that you might have seen in the backdrop of my videos. So now we're just kind of praying, doing magic, trying to be positive, intending for someone to come in and buy this place. We have a definite showing this weekend and a possible showing for a cash buyer. Hopefully that one will work out. So anyway, that's where we are as far as the move goes. I might try to do more videos until we actually get another contract on the house, because once that happens again, of course, we're going to be in moving mode, getting the rest of the stuff out of the house, getting the horses moved, planning for the move of the critters, and then of course, I work from home. My parents don't have the right kind of internet service, so I will have to go back into the office, which will be very interesting after being work from home for a year and a half. So I'll have to go back in the office for a little while until we find a new place to live, a new house for us. So anyway, that's where we are with the house. Other than that, life is about the same. We've been so focused on trying to get the house cleaned out and kind of that's our main focus right now, is just getting out of this, selling this property to somebody perfect. Whoever it's meant to be for, we've been manifesting them, and hopefully they'll be here soon. So as far as doing a lot of witchy stuff, aside from the magic that we've been doing, which I guess I could do a video about that. Maybe that'll be the next one. Yeah, I haven't really been doing much druidry. Of course, we live in the South, it's hot. Don't go outside much in the summertime. So yeah, we've just been kind of, aside from, there was a period of about 4 or 5 weeks where it just seems like we were so busy trying to get the house clean out and moving things, and we did it in 2 shifts instead of trying to drive one huge massive moving truck of stuff to storage. We did it a smaller one in 2 shifts, 2 different weekends. So yeah, that's what my world has been since my last video. Yeah. I thought I would come on and talk about Doreen Virtue. I don't know. I'm sure I've seen some other videos out there about this, so maybe YouTube's already inundated with Doreen Virtue videos, but I don't care. I'm going to talk about it anyway. All right, so Doreen Virtue. If you don't know who she is, first of all, Google her. She's a metaphysical, new agey, angel, fairy, mermaid, dolphins, whatever, teacher, oracle card creator, tarot card creator, writer. You know, she teaches people how to read cards and do angel work. And the other part to this, that why she's been in the metaphysical community news lately, is because people are saying she's converted to Christianity. And she kind of denounced, I believe it's mostly divination and using tarot and cards for divination, as far as I know. I've actually watched the videos that she's done. Supposedly there's a Hay House radio interview or something that she also did that explained things a little better, but I haven't listened to that one. So she kind of denounced tarot cards, or at least it seemed like that's what she was saying. And she had visions of Jesus back in February, I believe it was, and has gone like full on Jesus loving Christian, you know, Bible reading, going to church every Sunday, etc., etc. But the thing is, I think she was always leaning in that direction. I mean, if you look at her work, she's always had a very Christian slant to things. Now, I think from what I've gathered in the information I've seen, there was a video she put out in April where she first talked about her conversion, and I can't remember if she was baptized then or not. I don't remember. But that video was up for like a day or two, and then she took it down because people, I think, freaked. And I will be honest with you, I got a bad feeling from that video. It was just very fear-based. Like, she was talking about how she never knew the real Jesus, and she only knew of the cuddly Jesus up until a few months ago, and talking about how New Age people aren't happy, and some other things that were just living your life with a fear-based outlook that she was presenting in this video back in April is not the way that I want to live my life. And she denounced her Ascended Masters cards, her Ascended Masters books, and any books to do with like gods and goddesses, I'm assuming, as well, or cards. And then there was another video more recently where she talked about, you know, how she had statues in her house of pagan gods, like Hindu gods, I'm guessing, probably Lakshmi and maybe Ganesha, who knows. And how she wasn't going to worship pagan gods, and don't worship pagan gods, and which I've seen some people on Facebook and social media complaining about her converting to Christianity. Well, I think she always was Christian. I don't think she was ever pagan, technically. I think she was always very Christian, but I think before she had her visions of Jesus 6-7 months ago, she was definitely one of the more open-minded type of Christian and open to other views. And she probably still is in some ways, but maybe just not for herself. So this has caused, like, a lot of people are upset and they feel betrayed and they feel hurt. There's people questioning the certifications they got through her, you know, the angel card reading certifications or some of her other classes. Let me just put this out there. I have taken a few of her classes. I usually took them at when they were discounted though, because I'm not paying full price for that stuff. I like Doreen's work, but she is very light. Like, and I don't mean light versus dark. I mean, her stuff does not have a lot of substance to it. So her books, I have a few of her books. Most of them I got at the used bookstore. I very rarely would pay full price for those, but they're small. I mean, and a lot of times the type is big. So there's not a lot of substance to her books, in my opinion. I do have some of her card decks. As a matter of fact, the first Oracle card deck I ever got was gifted to me, and it was her Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, which I love. And I still use them. They're packed away right now, but I still use them. I have some of her other decks. And a lot of times, for me, the reason that I have gotten her decks is because I like the artwork. So, as someone who has taken some of her classes and bought a few things from her, at first, when I first heard her first video back in April, I was a little shocked. It was just kind of like a slap in the face in a way for a bit. Maybe for like a day or half a day, kind of going, well, maybe I shouldn't be using those decks, you know? It was like that little bit of fear that she put out there got into my head for just a minute. And I'm sure that other people, it probably got into their heads even longer, which is sad. I mean, I've had friends who are incredible intuitives and have taken like every single class she's ever done. They were questioning, should I even be using her cards anymore? You know, the answer is yes. If you like them, use them. I believe it was Nico of Scarlet Moon. I think it was his video. He talked about it a little bit. He says, once those cards are in your hands, they're yours. Her name might be on them. She might have created them, but technically they're yours. Which makes a lot of sense because they've got your energy in them. If you use them regularly, you know, they're going to be your cards. It doesn't matter who made them. So, but, you know, I think, and a lot of people have been seem to be very harsh and upset. And I certainly get that. If you've spent a lot of money on certifications and her books and that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden it sounds like she's turning her back on that, it is kind of disconcerting that, you know, these certifications that you've gotten, are they going to be valid? I have, like I said, I've taken 2 of her classes, the Certified Angel Reader and then the Realm Reader class. I think one show I put up my Angel Reader certificate, but that was the only time I've ever put it up. Because for me, it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of a momentary whim. I'm like, sure, I'll take the class. It's on sale. Why not? You never know what you might learn. And then the Realm Reader class, which is like trying to figure out what realm. She has these realms and trying to figure out what realm people are from, like if they're star people or, you know, incarnate angels, mer people, that kind of thing. Which to me, I find that kind of stuff interesting anyway, like that you're incarnated or you're an alien. So I didn't take it because I was like, I'm gonna go be a realm reader. It was more like, oh well, yeah, let's add that to the, what is it called, the quiver, another arrow to the quiver of, you know, stuff, that knowledge or whatever. So and I think it's funny too because I saw on a pagan group people were going back and forth about it, and the thing is, she was never pagan. And I think a lot of people are aware of that, but she was never pagan. She went to a Christian university. She was raised Christian. She's never, I don't think she's ever come out and said, yes, I'm pagan. So she was more New Age to me. Open-minded Christian. I can't remember what she said she was raised in. if it's a Unity church or something like that, which I think they're pretty open-minded. I know they're different from Unitarians. So, but yeah, I thought I'd just share my views on this. I think definitely if you are feeling hurt or betrayed, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. Let yourself have those feelings. Go through the grief. Be upset. It's okay. Get it out. Write her a letter and then burn it. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand it. If you're questioning whether or not to use her cards, if you like them, just keep using them. If you've decided that this whole thing has really put a bad taste in your mouth for her, put the cards aside, give it a couple months, and see how you feel. And in a couple months, if you still feel like you hate those cards, then give them away. Give them to somebody. Sell them. Burn them. Do whatever you want with them. But let me say this, and this is something that I have learned in all my wisdom years, all my 40 years on the planet, almost 41 in October. I think as humans, we tend to look outside of ourselves for guidance. And especially here in the West, we are taught to do that. From the time we're born, we're constantly told, do this, do that, and we're not taught to really look to ourselves. And I think it's changing some. I think people are becoming more aware to look toward themselves, to their guides or their higher power, as opposed to looking for authority figures to tell us what to do. And I think, I'm not saying this for everyone, but I think a lot of people did that with Doreen. They looked to her as their guidepost when really they should be looking here. She can bring me teachings, and she can bring me knowledge, and she can create things that I like, but she is not my guidepost. No one is your guidepost except for you. I went through this personally with a personal teacher who I was with for 5 years. I looked to her for guidance on everything. And I ignored myself. So, you know what? I think I will make a video about that at some point. Just explaining what happened without naming names, because I'm not going to go there. But going through that I was with her for 5 years. I spent thousands. When I say thousands, I mean thousands of dollars on sessions with her, learning healing modalities, taking classes, etc., etc. And I did learn a lot. So I'm not going to say that I didn't learn anything during that time period, but when the relationship fell apart, and the way in which it fell apart, which made me realize that I was nothing but a source of income for her when I thought we had an actual relationship, that, while very painful, was exactly what I needed, the kick in the ass from the universe that I needed to look within myself for guidance, as opposed to putting someone else on a pedestal and expecting them to be my guidepost. And I think a lot of people do that with teachers like Doreen Virtue. Put a metaphysical teacher name here. Even pagan teachers too. I mean, people do that with teachers. You're putting them on a pedestal, and that's really not healthy. And maybe this is what it's taking to get you to realize that you're doing it, and then to get you to step back and go, you know what? Thank you for the teachings. Thank you for your guidance, but now I'm going to listen to me. And I'm not saying ignore other people's teachings. Learn from them. Glean what you can from them, but don't ignore your own inner pilot light. And I don't know where that came from. I know there's one of the teachers that does your pilot light, and I can't remember who it is. But yeah, I think that is the biggest takeaway from this. if you're hurting, if you're grieving, if you're upset, take time to grieve and be upset. But know when you come out of it on the other side, ask yourself, is it time for me to now be the teacher for myself? Be the adult, be the teacher, be the guidepost for myself, and stop putting my life, my responsibility into someone else's garden. Tend your own garden. Don't worry about what Doreen Virtue is doing over in her garden, because it really doesn't have anything to do with us. And I know a lot of people talk about, oh, she's fraudulent and she's cheating people and she's just doing it so she can grab the Christian market. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. There is enough to go around for everybody. And as long as you focus on nitpicking at teachers who have fallen down in your eyes, you're just ignoring those pieces of yourself that need the healing from the situation. So, my take on the Doreen Virtue thing is, I wish her all the best. Honestly, I'm on the fence personally as far as whether or not it's truly her not converting, but truly, embracing the Christian lifestyle versus her doing it to get a bigger market. I really don't know. It really doesn't matter to me, because I still think there is benefit in some of the things she's put out. As a matter of fact, there's some cards of hers, the healing cards, that I would like to get at some point, maybe. However, she's just a person. And putting your faith and trust, to the extent that some people put their faith and trust in teachers that are human, a lot of times it's going to end up backfiring. That's just my 2 cents on it. So I wish her well. I used to follow her videos, but I never really, she is someone who's very light, and she's very hard to kind of take seriously. So, because I feel like her teachings kind of just scrape the surface on a lot of things. So, only time will tell what her next step will be. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Doreen Virtue situation. This video is a little longer than I expected it to be, and I think it was kind of rambly. So my words of wisdom are, be your own guru. Learn from others, but you have to be your own guidepost. Always. So, and sometimes we do go through rough situations and hurtful situations, like a teacher falling down in our eyes off the pedestal we put them on, in order for us to realize it. But hopefully this will help anyone who's hurting to realize that you're the teacher. You're your own guru. So, anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I am hoping I can do some more videos soon before we get moved. Once we get another contract on the house, it'll be a situation like it was last time, where videos will have to stop for a little while until we find a new place to live. But yeah, I've missed putting out my videos. I still am watching some of you. Lately, it's kind of interesting. I've not been watching as many pagan videos. I have a handful of favorites that I like to watch what they do regularly. But lately, I've been watching more history videos. Like hidden dangers of the Tudor home and stuff like that. It's kind of fun to watch, like all the stuff that they did and they thought was safe, which we now know is not. Especially the Victorian home. If you want some good YouTube videos, look up like hidden dangers of the blank home, and they have like Edwardian and Victorian and Tudor and post-war, I believe. Those are some good videos. They're BBC, so I'm an Anglophile and Of course, an Irish ophile. I'm sure there's a better name for that, but okay. My timer went off. I was cooking something and it went off. I thought I had enough time. Anyway, like I said, I realized that liking British things and liking Irish things don't necessarily play well together, but I do. Anyway, so like I said, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And as always, I wish you many, many blessings.